Hi everyone, I hope that all of you are doing really great. So in the previous video what we have seen is like what are the basic folder structures and how we work with Android Studio, how to create a new project and all the basic things, right? So that was pretty much interesting, like to know about all the things, how the things actually work, that in which the ID we are going to work with, right? So in today's video what we will be seeing is what are the different layouts. Like the layouts are the basic things or the starting thing of an XML file or a designing part of our screens. So that is very much important to know about the layouts and how we design it. So we will be just starting with the layouts today. So let's get started. Okay, so there are different types of layout. Okay, now we here it is by default given constraint layout, because Android developers means basically use the constraint layout because it is easy to use and it is more preferable for using. So it is by default given constraint layout. Now other than constraint layout there are three different layouts. One is relative layout, one is linear layout, and other is grid layout. Now I will be showing you all the three layouts one by one as I move into it. Okay, so now the text view, let me tell you something about this thing. The text view is the widget. Okay, now this text view is the simple widget that we can see in our screen. So this one is done, so I will come into this later. First let me explain the layout part first. So what I will do is I will open our Figma. So now I have created all the designs in the Figma, so I will share the link in the group, so from that you can access the Figma files, you can check it. Now basically all the designing part we do it in the Figma because the designs, like first UI is being designed, then we start working on the Android app. Okay, so the designing part is done in Figma. It is not necessary, but I prefer Figma. There are other apps also like Adobe XD and all, but I simply prefer Figma. So first you have to, like those who don't have Figma, just you have to create a Figma account. Just wait, I am showing that. Yes, so you can open your browser and simply type figma.com. okay, and hit enter. So now it will open the official website of Figma. Now once you go to this one, now if you have not created Figma account, you have to do the sign up. Click on the sign up button at the top right corner. So once you click it, it will want your Gmail ID. Okay, so now you have to give the Gmail ID, or you can also do it with email and password. Now after doing this thing, you can do continue with Google, and now a pop-up will open. Now fill up all these things that what they are wanting. You can do that one, and now once you do this one, your Figma will be opened. Now the link I will be providing you, click on that, so this one you can access it. Okay, so now let's see that what are linear layouts. Now see, the profile app that we are going to build is this one. As I told you at the early stage only, that we are going to build through this app. So I have made this wireframing. Now what is wireframing? Like the app we want, we define a layout first, like how the app will, means how the layout is going to be done, like so it will be easy for us to create the app. So for that case we define the layout here. Okay, it is called wireframing. So Figma is a good place to do the wireframing. So now let us understand the layout first. Okay, so the first one is linear layout. Let's check this one. Yes, so what is linear layout? Now see, if we want our layout, like we want the things to be one by one, like first this one, then this one, then this one, like in the table format, in the one by one format if you want, that is a linear layout. Okay, so in the linear layout there are two different we know that there are two different things like vertical and horizontal. When we specified the linear layout with vertical, so it will align its all the means all its item like this thing, and if we align horizontal, so it will come like this way. Okay, so now let's check a quick example in this side and check that where we use this linear layout. Now see, you can see the image is here, after that some text is here, some text is here, some text is here. Okay, so this whole thing is a linear layout, means we can do this thing through the linear layout only, because we want this thing one by one only. So you can simply use a linear layout, right? Like this format only, it is like one by one format, so we use a linear layout. Now take this example also. If we take this example, this all these items are one by one, you can see. So for that case we need linear layout. Okay, so this is the linear layout, And now let's check the linear layout with the vertical. Now till now all these things are vertical. It is in the vertical format, like upside down. Okay, and in the left and right, now see, horizontal is the left and right. Okay, so in the left and right we are using this thing, like this one, and in the right side this one. So only this thing, inside this thing there are two things. So this is in the horizontal part, like see, one by one. So this is the horizontal part of the layout. Okay, so this is why we use the linear layout, horizontal and vertical. So the whole thing is a linear layout in the vertical part, and this thing is only in the horizontal part, this inside this part. Okay, so I hope that linear layout is clear to you. Now things come is relative layout. Okay, once I am thinking that I will tell you first in this design part, then I will move into Android Studio to show you like that how we do this thing. Now in the relative layout, what does this thing means? Now in the relative layout we have some items we can, like in the linear layout, if you want to align this one, like in the first thing, if you want to align it at the bottom, like if you want to take this to the bottom, you can't do it. Or like if you want this item, like suppose you want the last item to be like here, you can't do it in the linear layout. Okay, it will be means it will be arranged one by one only. You can't change it. So that is linear layout. So in the relative layout, what happens is, if you want to arrange like something, like if we have a button, we want to align it at the bottom, so we can simply use the relative layout. Now it has different parameters, like align bottom of parent, align start. I will show you the parameters. Now this is the relative layout basically. Like we can change its position, like we can take it to here, we can take it to downward. So this is the relative layout basically. Like we can take it to any of the positions, but in the linear layout we have to do it only one by one. We can't change its position from one place to another. Like how we write the code, it will appear that only. Okay, so that is the linear layout, that is, and this one is the relative layout. Like I hope that you have understand that for what case we use the relative layout. Like if we want something at the bottom, if we want something at the top only, then we use relative layout. Okay, and in the grid layout it is really simple. Now see, in the grid layout, like we have seen the grid system. Okay, rows and columns, mixture of rows and columns. So for that case we use the grid layout. Like we want, like let me show you. Yes, so if you see this calculator app, now see this thing, this whole thing is in the grid layout. You can see the format, so it is in the grid layout. So for this case only we need the linear layout. Okay, sorry, for this case we need the grid layout. Okay, so this is the grid layout. Now let's move into the Android Studio and let me show you all the layouts one by one. So in this I have came into the constraint layout part. So let us understand how constraint layout works. So see, in the each layout there is a layout width and layout height. Now width means what is the width of this layout actually, and what is the height of this width. Okay, so the inside this layout width there are three things basically. Now see, it is given match pattern. Now what does match pattern means is, the width will be full, like the screen, how much the screen size, like any phone any size, it will match the whole size. Means it will match the whole width of any phone. Okay, so that thing means the match parent. Okay, now another thing is also that wrap content. Now I am not showing this one with the layout, just wait. I will show you with the widgets, like text view. I will show you the that thing. So we have two things, the with layout and with height. Okay, so in the text view, now it is wrap content, and the height is also given wrap content. Now I told you wrap content means is, it will occupy only the space that it is actually. Okay, now if the text is like something more, after hello world something more, I am giving random things. So see, its width will be accordingly, like what is it actually space it takes, so it will be accordingly. So that thing means wrap content. Okay, now if you give it match parent, so see, you can see simply like it is taking the whole width of the screen. Okay, so this thing is match parent. Now I am giving it wrap content only. So match parent, you know, means it is clear, I think, that it will match the whole screen. Wrap content meant it will occupy only the space it needs. It means only the size it is originally, so it is that. Now see, in the constraint layout we have three things. Now you can see the blue dots are there. Now I am removing this first. Wait. Now so you will see all the blue dots are being removed. Okay, so now if you pull this one, like if you click on this, many of us, what we do in the beginning is we pull through this, like we do this one. Like when I also started, I did through this only because it was more convenient for at the beginning. But in professional level, like when we in like now, I am doing it through this part only, this code part only. Okay, so you can see that these are the constraint. So now let us understand what does this constraint means actually. See, when I constrain this thing with the top, so a spring like thing appears, means when I, let me do it again. Wait, now let me constrain it to bottom. Now I am taking this thing, I am pulling it to button. Now what does this thing means is it will attach to the bottom only. Okay, now you go to any of the phone, like you run it on any phone, it will always stick to the bottom. So this constraint means, you can see the code is coming here, constraint bottom to bottom of parent. Parent means the whole layout. Parent means the whole layout, the four sides. In the Figma file also I have told you that parent means this four sides. See here I have given shown in the parent, this is the parent. Okay, so it will automatically align itself to the bottom. Now if you want to align it to the top, you can go through this one also, this blue dot, but I will write through this code here. Now if you write here constraint, now see this thing will automatically start coming. Now you can see constraint top to bottom of, top to top of. Now see, top to top means this one's top and this one's top. Okay, so I will give top to top of, and now I will give it parent. So see, now the spring system has come. Now this side, like what we are doing manually through this, it has come automatically. Okay, so the now what this thing means, it will align itself through this also, means it is going through this also, and it is also aligning it through this also. So now it will always come in the middle, it will appear at the middle of any of the phone sizes screen. Okay, so you can see the spring, and it is for that case only, it is like specified with spring. Now if you want to align it also in the horizontal part, so here we will write constraint start. This side is the start, like the left side is start, right side is end, the top is top and the bottom is bottom. So I will write constraint start to start of parent. Simply I will write parent. Okay, so you can see the blue dot has come here. And now if I write constraint top to not top, if I write constraint end to end of parent, see it has came at the middle. So this is how we specify this thing, and and designs are done through this only. Now we have one more thing also, we have an ID. We have an ID, like we give it text. Now ID is to specify each unique things. Okay, like this is the text, means this is a widget, so to identify it we give an ID. Like whenever we use this thing, we give it through ID. Okay, so that is for this one. Now let's move into the constraint layout is done. In the constraint layout we only have this type of parameters, and now let's move into the linear layout. So in the linear layout there is one more. Now see, in the linear layout, when we are moving to this one, you can see it is not aligning at the center, like in the constraint layout which was there, it is not aligning. So these parameters are not working for in this case. So now in the linear layout there is a parameter that is orientation, like in which orientation we want. Like in the first case, yes, so now what we have to do is we have to specify like what is the parameter, like what we want the orientation. So we can we will be giving it vertical. Like if we want to align it, as I showed you in the design, vertical, for vertical it is 1 by 1, so for that case we will be giving it vertical. Now whatever now if we give numerous text, wait, like let me copy this thing and let me paste. Now you can see it is aligning itself 1 by 1. Okay, now there are different parameters like margins and all, I will tell you. So in the this one it is aligning it 1 by 1. Now if I give this orientation to horizontal and check it, now see it is, now let me reduce its size, so it will be easy to understand. Now you can see that it is aligning side by side. So this is the difference in the horizontal and vertical. So let me give it again vertical. So you can see that this is the difference basically. Now inside each widget or each layout, there are inside each widget there are some parameters, basic parameters, that are margins and padding. So let us understand this margin through this design. Now see, I have given here a button. Okay, now understand it through the text view only. The height and width I have told you. Now if we have a button or something like make it a text only. Okay, so margin means this sidewise what will be the spacing that is defined with margin. And like we have a unit called dp. For any spacing or any pixel related things we give it dp, and for size like text size or anything we give it in sp. So it will be clear like as we move into it one. So margin is specified for this thing, like the side spacing. And padding means, see, now the padding means the inside part. Now it is a text and it is the box of this text. Padding means how much space will be it from inside, and margin means it is from the outside. Okay, so let me show it in the Android Studio so it will be more clear for you. Now see, now you can't see this one. Now I will give it a gravity, and if I give it center, so it will align the whole text at the center. See, check it. It is aligning this one in the center horizontally. As I told you in the linear layout, as the things occur one by one, so we can only align this thing along this. Okay, so it has aligned this text in the center. It is also a parameter, so I am removing this thing first. So now see, now I am giving a background first, and I will give a color black, not black, I am giving a purple color. It is already defined. Now you can see that the color is black. Okay, so now if I give a margin, like if I give a margin start, and I am giving it a 16 dB margin start, so you can see it is moving with a space little, that is 16 dB. Now here I have shown you this is the margin. As I given the margin start, this one is the start position, this is the end, this is the bottom, and this one will be the obviously the top. So now I have given the start. Now if I give a margin end 16 dp, so it is not visible for now because it is small. If it goes like this side, so it will be visible. Now I will give a margin top. Okay, so margin top also let me give it 16 dp. So now see, you can see it is moving by some space. And now let me make this one match parent, so you can see that one, not match, yes, match parent. Now you can see that there is spacing from all the sides. And now let's see the padding part. Now the text, it is, the background is like with the text only, like it is occupying only the space, the text size. Now if I give a padding, like if I want some space in the violet color and in the hello world in between it, like as I shown you in the design, like in the button, and this is the padding. So let me give the padding parameter. So if I write padding, okay, so there is a padding bottom, like padding bottom. If you want the padding bottom, I am giving it 16 dp. See, now the violet color is extending and the text is like there only. Okay, now if I want to give a padding top also, I will give it a 16 dp padding, so it will be padding with the top. Now if I want the padding at the start, like I want the edge to move this side more inside. No, I don't want to the outside, I want inside to move. So I will give a padding start, and let me give it 16 dp. Now you can simply see that it is working light. Now what, this is the margin, the white color portion is the margin outside, and the violet color, the text is going inside, it is the margin, it is the padding. Okay, so now I think that this one is clear, like what is the margin and what is the padding part. Now in the relative layout, let me show you the relative layout. Now in the relative layout, see this thing. In the relative layout we don't need this parameter, this orientation vertical. Now in the relative layout, what the thing happens is this buttons are coming like we have in the constraint layout, but the parameter name is different. Like in the constraint layout we have the constraint top to bottom, but in relative layout the parameter is align. I have also mentioned this one in here also. Like if we want to align it to the bottom of the parent, we have to give the parameter align bottom of. Now see, if I write align See, now it is showing align parent top, means align parent top means it will align this one, means this dot will appear here, and align bottom means it will align bottom to whichever thing you want. Now if you want align parent bottom, so I will write align parent bottom, and it takes a boolean value true or false. Now I will give it true, so it will simply go down. Okay, so this thing means it has aligned itself to the bottom. Now if I give it align top, align parent top, so in the constraint layout what we have seen is like if we align means if we constrain the both, so it is going at the center, but in the relative layout it not happens. So if I write it true, now see, it will occupy the whole space, but it will not be like in the center, it is occupying the whole space. Okay, so to make it clear, I have given the background part here, so it is occupying the whole space, so it is clear now, right? Now the relative layout is this only, and but if we don't want this whole space, but we want to align this text at the center, so let us write for that one. So for that thing there is a code, align horizontal, align center horizontal, and if I give it true, it will align through both the sides, means in the left side and the right side, like what we are doing through Constraint. By writing simple single line here, it is doing both the things. And now if I write align vertical center, and if I give it true, so it is coming to the center. Now this is the code for relative layout to align it to center, but for constraint layout we don't have like separate code, we have only single code to constrain that thing. So yes, so that is the relative layout and the linear layout. Constraint layout also we have done. So the last part is the grid layout. Grid layout I am not going into this because we will be doing in that thing in the calculator app. This grid layout, it is simple, we define the grids, and we as we write different things it will appear that wise. So now yes, what is left now? So relative layout is also done, right? So if I the text view is done. Now see, this text view is a widget. Now if we go to the design, now here this side there are different things, text view, buttons, image view, all these things are here. Now in the widgets also there are all those things, progress bar, and now for simplicity, like those who don't know, like you are new to this one, so you don't know like what are the widgets, so you can see through this one. If you want a button, you can drag and drop here. Okay, so button will come at this position. See, a button has came. If you want image, you can drag and drop an image, it will now ask for an image, you can give any image, like I am giving this one only. Now this image will come. Now if you want a what to say, like let's go into the widget. See, progress bar, if you want a progress bar, like the circular progress bar we see now, that progress bar if you need, so it will come. So all these things are widgets, and the code will come automatically in this side, like as we write here. So this is the widgets. I will come into the widgets later only, means as we move with our projects we will be using all the widgets what are being used. That's all for today, guys. I would wrap up this one because it had been a long session. So if you have liked this video, subscribe my channel, like this video and share it to your friends to get the notification of the next video that is going to be building our first profile app. So just subscribe my channel to get the notification, and bye bye and have a great day.